Hi, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about statistical discrimination, and we're going to start with going over why Ban the Box accidentally backfired and what it teaches us about discrimination. Imagine you're hiring a babysitter. You don't know them very well, so you ask a few questions. One of them is, have you ever gotten in serious trouble before? That question gives you information. Maybe it's not perfect, but it helps you decide. Now imagine a new rule says you're not allowed to ask that question anymore. So what do? You still have to make a decision, but now you're guessing. And here's where statistical discrimination comes in. So, what is statistical discrimination? It happens when people make decisions about individuals based on what they believe about a group, instead of actual information about the person in front of them. Not because they're evil, not because they hate anyone, but because they're missing information and trying to fill in the blanks. Think of it like this. I don't know this person, so I'll guess based on patterns I've heard about. That guess can be wrong, unfair, and harmful even if the person thinks they're being logical. Enter ban the box. It's a policy that removes the little checkbox on job applications that asks, have you ever been convicted of a crime? The idea is great. It gives people with records a fair chance, lets employers see skills first, and reduces discrimination. Sounds like a win, right? Well, sometimes yes, but sometimes not so much. Here's what actually happened. When employers could ask about criminal records, they had direct information. When that box disappeared, employers didn't suddenly stop worrying about crime or risk. Instead, some of them started guessing. And who did they guess about? Oftentimes, it was young men, black men, and Latino men, even if those applicants had no criminal record at all. So instead of discriminating against people with records, employers began discriminating against entire groups that assumed were more likely to have records. That's statistical discrimination. Here's the worst part. Someone who never committed a crime might get fewer interviews, fewer callbacks, and fewer job offers, simply because of how they look or what group they're perceived to belong to. So a policy meant to reduce discrimination can accidentally shift it somewhere else. The overall lesson, statistical discrimination teaches us something important. When people don't have good information, they don't stop making decisions. They start making assumptions. Assumptions hurt innocent people. That's why good policy doesn't just remove information. It also needs protections, enforcement, and better ways to judge people as individuals. Statistical discrimination isn't about hatred, it's about guessing, and guessing can still ruin lives.